Overthinking is not intelligence. It is fear pretending to be preparation. Most people believe they are thinking deeply. In reality, they're trapped. Trapped in loops. Trapped in scenarios that never happen. Trapped in conversations that ended long ago and futures that may never arrive. Most people do not lose their lives to failure. They lose them to thoughts that never stop. The mind jumps ahead, imagining disaster, rejection, loss. Then it turns backward, replaying mistakes, regrets, missed moments. And in between, it creates problems that do not exist, drains energy that is never restored, and steals peace from the present moment. This is the invisible enemy. It has no face, no sound, no physical form. It exhausts more people than any battle ever could. Centuries ago, the samurai recognized this enemy long before psychology named it. Long before modern science tried to explain it. They encountered it in moments of stillness and moments of extreme danger. They called it a scattered mind. A mind pulled in all directions is a weak mind. A divided mind hesitates. A hesitating mind dies. On the battlefield, overthinking was fatal. Too many thoughts meant slow action. Doubt meant delay. Fear disguised as analysis meant death. So the samurai could not afford mental chaos. They needed a mind that was clear, silent, and decisive, even while surrounded by noise, danger, and uncertainty. And so, they developed a method. Not complicated, not gentle, not philosophical comfort, but a method that was simple, ruthless, and effective. A discipline designed to cut through mental noise the same way a blade cuts through air. A system that trained the mind to stay where power exists, in the present moment. This was not motivation, not positive thinking, not affirmations whispered into the dark. It was mental discipline, a way to silence chaos, to end overthinking, to command the mind instead of being dragged by it. Today, you will learn that method. The same principles that kept warriors calm in the face of death can free your mind from endless thought. This is not about calming thoughts. It is about mastering them. This is how to stop overthinking. The Samurai Way. Chapter 1. Why Overthinking Weakens You. The samurai believed one truth above all others. A mind divided is already defeated. Overthinking wears the disguise of intelligence. It feels responsible. It feels cautious. It feels like preparation. But beneath that disguise, it is weakness, not of character, but of clarity. A mind that overthinks is a mind that leaks energy. Every repeated thought drains focus. Every imagined outcome steals confidence. Every mental replay pulls you further away from the only place power exists. Now, when you overthink, three things always happen. First, you hesitate. You delay action while searching for perfect certainty. But certainty never arrives. The moment passes and opportunity disappears. Second, you doubt decisions already made. Instead of moving forward, you reopen closed doors in the mind. You question yourself. You fracture commitment. Third, you abandon the present moment. Your body is here, but your mind is scattered, living in future fears and past regrets. The samurai trained to eliminate this state at all costs. Why? Because on the battlefield, hesitation meant death. A single moment of doubt could cost everything. There was no time to analyze endlessly. No space for mental noise. Only clarity. The samurai did not wait to feel ready. They trained to be ready. They understood something modern life has forgotten. Clarity does not come from thinking more. It comes from thinking less and seeing more. Through stillness, ritual, repetition, and breath, they train the mind to settle. A settled mind perceives reality accurately. A scattered mind invents danger where none exists. Overthinking is the mind attempting to escape responsibility. It delays choice so it can avoid consequence. If no decision is made, no risk is taken. But a life lived this way slowly weakens the spirit. The warrior accepts responsibility instantly. He does not wait for perfect information. He does not demand emotional comfort. He acts with presence. This does not mean recklessness. It means decisiveness rooted in training. The samurai did not react blindly. They responded from discipline. Their clarity was forged long before the moment of action arrived. Modern overthinking is often fear in disguise. Fear of being wrong. Fear of judgment. Fear of loss. Fear of uncertainty. The mind spins stories to delay facing these fears directly. But the samurai faced fear head-on. They trained beside it. They breathed with it. They accepted its presence, and acted anyway. A divided mind seeks escape. A trained mind seeks action. This is why overthinking weakens you. It fractures attention. It erodes trust in yourself. It drains energy before action even begins. The samurai chose a different path. They simplified the mind. They reduced internal noise. They trained stillness so that when movement was required, it was immediate and precise. This is the first lesson of the samurai method against overthinking. You do not need more thoughts. You need more presence. Silence is not emptiness. It is clarity, and clarity is strength. Chapter 2. The samurai concept that ends overthinking. At the center of the samurai's mental discipline was a single concept. A principle so powerful it could silence fear in the face of death. It was called Mushin. Mushin means no mind, not an empty brain, not unconsciousness, not ignorance. A quiet mind, a mind free from unnecessary commentary, free from internal argument, free from endless self-talk that fractures attention and delays action. Mushin is action without internal noise, movement without hesitation, presence without distraction. In Mushin, the samurai did not ask, "What if?" He did not replay the past. He did not narrate the moment to himself. He simply acted. This is where modern people misunderstand Mushin. The samurai did not try to eliminate thoughts. That is impossible. Thoughts arise naturally. The mind generates them the way the lungs generate breath. What the samurai mastered was attention. They understood a truth that modern psychology now confirms. Thoughts only have power when you listen to them. Overthinking survives on attention. Feed it, and it grows louder. Ignore it, and it weakens. Starve it of attention, and it collapses. In Mushin, thoughts may appear, but they are not invited to stay. They pass like clouds across the sky. The mind does not chase them. The warrior does not engage. This is the death of overthinking. Overthinking requires commentary. What if I fail? What will they think? Maybe I should wait. Mushin removes the narrator. Without narration, fear loses its grip. Without commentary, hesitation dissolves. Without mental noise, the body responds with speed and precision. This is why Mushin was trained relentlessly. Through sword drills, through breath work, through meditation, through repetitive practice until action required no conscious deliberation. In Mushin, the body moves before doubt can interfere. The mind observes without judgment. Awareness remains wide, calm, and alert. This is not calm weakness. It is calm power. A panicked mind is loud. A weak mind argues with itself. A strong mind is silent and decisive. The samurai could face chaos without becoming chaotic. They could face violence without becoming frantic. They could face uncertainty without collapsing into thought. Mushin made this possible. And here is the most important truth. Mushin is not reserved for battle. Every moment of modern life invites overthinking. Conversations, decisions, work, conflict, silence. The mind constantly tries to fill space with noise. Mushin teaches you to leave the space empty. You act when action is required. You speak when speech is required. You remain silent when silence is required. Nothing extra, nothing wasted. When you stop listening to unnecessary thoughts, clarity appears naturally. Decisions become simpler. Anxiety loses momentum. Focus sharpens. This is the second lesson of the samurai method. You do not defeat overthinking by fighting thoughts. You defeat it by withdrawing attention. Where attention goes, energy flows. Where attention is removed, chaos cannot survive. Mushin is not passive. It is readiness without noise. And once you taste this state, even briefly, you will understand why the samurai valued it above all else. Because a quiet mind does not hesitate, and a mind that does not hesitate cannot be controlled by fear. Chapter 3. The 3-step samurai method to stop overthinking. Overthinking is not defeated by force. It is defeated by structure. The samurai did not try to overpower the mind. They trained it patiently, relentlessly, until it obeyed. And their method followed 3 simple steps. Not complicated, not mystical, but effective under pressure. Cross swords. Step 1. Name the thought. The samurai never confused themselves with their thoughts. They understood that a thought is an event, not an order. Instead of believing every mental voice, they labeled it. This is fear. This is imagination. This is memory. This single act creates distance. When a thought is unnamed, it feels personal. It feels urgent. It feels true. But once it is labeled, it becomes an object you can observe, not a command you must follow. Fear loses authority when you call it fear. Imagination loses power when you expose it as fantasy. Memory stops controlling you when you recognize it as the past. The samurai separated awareness from content. They did not argue with thoughts. They did not suppress them. They simply refused to identify with them. This is the first cut against overthinking. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who notices them. And what you can observe, you can release. Cross swords, step 2. Return to the body. A scattered mind cannot exist in a grounded body. The samurai understood this instinctively. When a mind drifted, they returned to the physical. Posture straight, breath slow, feet rooted. The body anchors awareness in reality. This is why the samurai emphasized posture, breathing, and stance. Not just for combat, but for mental stability. Do this now. Inhale for 4 seconds through the nose. Exhale for 6 seconds, slow and controlled. Repeat. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Feel the weight of your body. Feel the breath moving in and out. Your body lives in the present moment. Your mind lives in stories. And stories dissolve when attention returns to sensation. Overthinking feeds on abstraction. The body deals in reality. The moment you anchor attention in physical sensation, the mind loses momentum. This is not relaxation. This is regulation. The nervous system settles. The internal noise softens. Clarity begins to return. The samurai did not think their way back to calm. They embodied it. Cross swords, step 3. Act without debate. Overthinking survives indecision. The samurai destroyed indecision through action. They trained themselves to decide once, act immediately, and adjust later. No endless evaluation. No internal argument. Just movement. They asked a single question. What is the smallest correct action I can take right now? Then they moved. Action collapses overthinking because the mind cannot argue with reality. Once you act, feedback replaces fantasy. Progress replaces paralysis. Waiting feels safe, but it is where overthinking thrives. Movement feels risky, but it is where clarity is born. This does not mean reckless action. It means committed action. You choose a direction and step forward. Correction comes after movement, not before it. This is how the samurai lived. This is how they fought. This is how they mastered their minds. This is the third cut, decisive action. Together, these 3 steps form a complete system. Name the thought. Return to the body. Act without debate. Simple, direct, relentless. Overthinking cannot survive this sequence. It has nowhere to hide. This is not theory. This is a discipline, one you can practice every day. And with practice, the mind becomes quieter. Decisions become clearer. Life becomes lighter. Because clarity is not something you think your way into. It is something you train. Chapter 4. The Daily Samurai Discipline. Every samurai practiced stillness. Not as an escape. Not for comfort. Not to relax. They practiced stillness to sharpen awareness. To the samurai, stillness was not passive. It was alert, watchful, alive, in silence. The mind reveals its habits. Distraction becomes visible. Impulse exposes itself. And through observation, control is forged. The modern mind fears silence. It reaches for noise, stimulation, and distraction the moment nothing demands attention. But the samurai moved in the opposite direction. They entered silence deliberately and stayed there. This is the daily discipline. Do this every day. Sit for 5 minutes. No phone, no music, no fixing thoughts. Just observe. You do not chase thoughts away. You do not analyze them. You do not follow them. You watch. This simple act trains dominance over the mind, not through suppression, but through non-reaction. The moment you stop responding to every mental impulse, the mind begins to slow on its own. Silence is not empty. It is controlled. In the beginning, the mind resists. Thoughts race. Restlessness rises. Urges demand attention. This is not failure. It is exposure. You're seeing the mind as it truly is. The samurai welcomed this discomfort. They understood that control begins with awareness. What you can observe clearly, you no longer obey blindly. Over time, something changes. Thoughts lose urgency. Reactions soften. Pauses appear between impulse and action. And in those pauses, power is born. This daily practice trains the nervous system to remain steady without stimulation. It teaches the mind that it does not need to fill every moment with noise. Presence becomes natural. The samurai carried this stillness into everything. Walking, eating, training, conversation. The mind learned to remain calm even while the body moved. Stillness was not confined to sitting. It became a way of being. 5 minutes may seem small, but consistency matters more than duration. The samurai did not seek dramatic breakthroughs. They trusted daily repetition. A quiet mind is not achieved through force. It is earned through patience. As days pass, you will notice subtle shifts. You react less. You listen more. You act with greater clarity. Overthinking weakens because it no longer receives attention. This is Mushin in training. No struggle, no resistance, just awareness. The daily samurai discipline does not promise comfort. It promises mastery. And mastery begins when you stop running from silence and learn to stand within it. This is the fourth lesson. Stillness is not the absence of action. It is the foundation of all correct action. Train it daily, carry into life, and slowly, the invisible enemy loses its grip, because the mind that can remain silent cannot be controlled by chaos. Chapter 5, the final samurai truth about overthinking. The samurai understood a truth most people never realize. Overthinking is not a problem of intelligence. It is a problem of trust. A mind that overthinks does not trust itself. It doubts its own judgment. It fears consequence. It searches endlessly for certainty that life will never provide. The samurai did not seek certainty. They sought readiness. They trained so deeply that when the moment arrived, the mind could step aside. Action flowed without debate. This was not recklessness. It was trust built through discipline. Overthinking exists where training is absent, where repetition is shallow, where the mind has not been tested. The samurai eliminated overthinking by proving to themselves, again and again, that they could act correctly under pressure. This is the final truth. You think too much about what you do not practice enough. A trained mind does not panic. A disciplined mind does not spiral. A practiced mind does not hesitate. The samurai trusted their preparation, and that trust silenced unnecessary thought. Overthinking also comes from fear of loss, of reputation, comfort, control. But the samurai accepted impermanence. They understood that clinging to outcomes creates tension, and tension clouds judgment. They focused only on what could be controlled. Breath, posture, attention, action. Everything else was released. This is why Mushin was not emptiness, but freedom. Freedom from mental clutter. Freedom from self-obsession. Freedom from fear disguised as thought. The final samurai truth is this. The mind is a tool, not a master. When used correctly, it plans, perceives, and responds. When left undisciplined, it dominates, distracts, and drains. Overthinking is what happens when the tool takes control of the craftsman. The samurai reversed this relationship. They commanded the mind through daily stillness, embodied presence, decisive action, and unwavering discipline. And this truth remains unchanged. You do not end overthinking by solving every thought. You end it by outgrowing the need to listen to them. When awareness is strong, thoughts soften. When discipline is consistent, fear weakens. When action is clear, doubt dissolves. This is not a quick fix. It is a way of life. But once you understand this truth, overthinking loses its mystery. It is no longer an enemy, just a signal that attention has drifted from practice to fear. Return to stillness. Return to breath. Return to action. And remember the lesson the samurai lived by. A quiet mind is not created by force. It is earned through discipline. That is the way of the warrior. And that is how overthinking ends. Overthinking is not your enemy. What holds you back is untrained thinking. A mind left unchecked becomes a battlefield of its own. It replays the past. It invents problems that do not exist. It whispers doubt louder than clarity. The samurai faced this every day, and they did not silence the mind with force. They trained it through stillness, through breath, through disciplined action, through repeated mastery of the smallest details. And so can you. Discipline is not an abstract concept. It is built one moment at a time. Every pause, every controlled breath, every deliberate action is a strike against mental chaos. A calm mind is dangerous. It cannot be manipulated. It cannot panic. It acts decisively where others hesitate. A disciplined mind is unstoppable. It is steady when storms rage. It is sharp when distractions scream. It is unshakable when chaos surrounds it. This is what the samurai achieved through centuries of practice. And this is what you can achieve in your life today. Begin small. Sit in stillness. Observe your thoughts. Act deliberately. No force. No struggle. Just practice. The mind adapts. Clarity emerges. Overthinking fades. This is the final truth. You're not your thoughts. You are the one who observes them. And the observer is always stronger than the noise. If this video sharpened your awareness, if it awakens something inside you, like it, comment Mushin below, and subscribe for more ancient wisdom applied to modern strength. The path of the warrior is not a one-time choice. It is a daily decision, a commitment to presence, a dedication to mastery. Step into the calm. Step into discipline. Step into the untouchable mind. The training begins now. And from this moment, the mind that cannot be shaken is yours to forge. Control your thoughts. Master your mind. Become untouchable.